Independence Day 2020 by dawn's early light. A most unusual year, but a red, white, and blue morning in Grove Creek Canyon up the road from downtown Pleasant Grove in Utah County. Guest of honor, Old Glory on America's birthday. And for a few minutes, the world is calm, even reverent and perfect. And then...
Fire in the hole!
Oh, say, can you see?
The pageantry is a 6-year tradition from Follow the Flag. With the unfurling of Lady Liberty high above and a majestic tribute flying a little higher. For Follow the Flag founders Kyle and Carrie Fox, it just doesn't get better than this.
No way. This is amazing. This is incredible.
No, this is like Christmas a little bit.
Oh, say does that star spangled...
In the world we're living in today, what's the message with Lady Liberty flying?
My message is hopefully one of hope. No matter what our differences are, the fact that we have that Star-Spangled Banner, it represents our freedom, and we need to be so grateful for that and come together and just love each other.
And the home of the brave.
Lady Liberty will fly in Grove Creek Canyon here in Pleasant Grove for the next week, continuing a service that this family and this group take great pride in. And they are just getting started.
It's a great big flag and it's beautiful.
But I just can't wait to see it flutter in the breeze the first time.
They just want everybody to remember what the flag means, what it should mean.
They're really great people. They're doing things for this random kid whose father got killed fighting for his country.
It's bringing community together and there's a buzz about it.
Basically, that felt like the state of Utah was driving up the driveway with us. It's amazing to me that so many people would come together to do this.
It really has taken on a life of its own. We literally now, at this point, we're trying to hold the reins on this. The community involvement, all the youth that are involved.
407 years ago.
People are just getting around it, and it's becoming more and more of a huge patriotic symbol. A special environment to be in. Some people have called it hallowed. It's what's behind the flag and what the meaning is in those colors and in those stars.
You can go a little faster.
Easier said than done.
I had blisters when I came off the mountain. We had done 2,000 heave-hoes. And we counted them.
Ho!
And it was 4 men on that line.
You know, that's the sound of the man. He's back, working on the chain.
Oh, it was a struggle because we didn't have a lot of guys up there, and so we were just pulling a couple hours. We finally got it.
One flag, 2 men, a group of Boy Scouts, and a load of rigging materials set in motion a movement that has impacted thousands.
Now we will present the colors.
I've never been involved in something that has impacted people so much or so many people.
For me, just knowing that I was a part of that and hanging that, it just gave me ultimate satisfaction.
What started as a surprise gift to their small community
July 3rd, the sun set and no one knew what was happening.
Has become a valued tradition.
And then they woke up that morning.
We actually came the first year they hung a flag in a canyon. I was just in awe and didn't even get my hand to my heart. And then I remember thinking right in that moment as the flag was being unfurled, and they're gonna need help next year.
The Follow the Flag project had humble beginnings.
Kyle rolled over in bed one morning and he said, I think I'm gonna hang a giant flag in Grove Creek Canyon. And I will never forget that. I just knew that was something that was going to be huge.
Right away, Kyle Fox enlisted the help of good friend and rigging specialist Ron Nix.
He says, I'd like to hang a flag in the canyon. in Grove Creek Canyon. I saw someone that did that up north on a smaller scale, and we'd like to hang a flag. And I said, absolutely. Basically, we purchased the flag, and then I had a bunch of rigging resources that I have personally through my company.
Initially, it was an opportunity, a stunt that we pulled. We wanted to surprise the community, you know. We didn't want anyone to know we were coming.
How did you decide that it had to be the size of a basketball court?
Well, you know, all my life it's go big or go home, right?
It was our hope to be able to have something hanging for the people that when they came up the canyon to go on a hike that morning that we could touch hearts.
And their hope was realized. Almost as soon as the flag went up, tender emotions were brought to the surface.
It just felt like hallowed ground. I think it's angel wings that lift the flag. 24, 16.
For Teresa Hunt, July 14, 2004 was supposed to be just like any other day. But on that day, her worst fears materialized.
And the doorbell rang, and I opened it, and there were two soldiers standing in dress uniform.
Her son Matthew had died while on active duty in the military.
And all I remember is falling down to my knees and crying. It's just like in the movies, only worse because it was mine.
That moment changed her life forever, and she became what the military describes as a Gold Star mom.
I got to be on the tarmac when they took him out of the plane in a cargo box. They were going to put him in the hearse in his cardboard box. And over my dead body is he going in that hearse without his flag on his casket. He needed to be shown the respect that he earned by standing and volunteering.
The flag has always been important to Teresa.
I'm the daughter of a retired Lieutenant Colonel Air Force fighter pilot, and my grandpa was part of the Doolittle raid. The flag's always been important because we've always had military in our family.
And now, as a Gold Star mother, the flag represents so much more.
The moment they put a flag on top of your son's casket, it has a whole different meaning.
And so when Teresa first saw a giant flag flying in Pleasant Grove Canyon, it was this passion that fueled her.
Slamming her door and stomping up the parking lot and yelling at us and what's going on here? How come I didn't know about this? And telling me that she buried her son. So, yeah, makes me cry. But yeah, it's to her it became a connection with her son.
It really kind of hit me, the impact and what we were doing, the magnitude of what we were doing.
It was in that moment the mission of the Follow the Flag project became clear.
Heavenly Father dropped a bomb on me. So I didn't serve a mission or my country. So I realized, what can I give back?
They have brought so much patriotism back into this community.
And so from the very beginning, people stepped in to help.
As the flag went up that first year, I think it was one of those places where I thought, okay, I need to help. There's going to be more things that we can do.
Each year, thousands of volunteer hours are logged, new ideas are shared, and enthusiasm increases.
Working with Kyle, things move fast. He will throw an idea out, and that idea will snowball very quickly.
The more good we're doing, the more opposition is handed to us.
2 years into the Follow the Flag project, founders Kyle Fox and Ron Nix look to expand their vision.
So a friend, Dennis, came to me and he was mentioning that it wasn't the largest flag that had been in Utah.
When Utah became a state in January 4th of 1895, they made a flag that was large enough to cover the whole ceiling of the tabernacle where the ceremony for the statehood was done. And then it was next draped off of the south side of the temple, and I just asked him, have they ever considered having a larger flag made?
So I took that as a challenge.
They set to work, creating the largest free-flying American flag in the United States.
You have the flag that's 78 feet wide and 150 feet long.
Each stripe is 6 feet wide.
So it's about 11,800 square feet. Each star is about 55 inches, and they're about 7 feet apart.
Weighing in at well over 400 pounds, hanging this beautiful behemoth was a logistical feat.
It's not like we have a flagpole that we're putting it on. We're putting it across a 1,200-foot canyon.
It took over 70 people just to carry the flag up the mountain.
The logistics of pulling this off was probably one of the more challenging rigging jobs that I've ever done. Picture a shower curtain with all of the rings, and we have all of these carabiners. Each carabiner is hung on that line, and we have a ripcord that's going through that when they pull that cord, the flag comes unfurled.
So here we had this big announcement, this world's biggest flag. We had people coming, you know, everybody was coming to see this, and the flag was jammed, and the sun was setting. So Kyle, Ron, and a handful of others worked through the night, trying to unjam the line.
I got the resources we needed. We strapped them onto a backboard, and we packed it up the mountain, and it was dark, so we couldn't really see.
We actually had a word of prayer. You know, we asked for help that this would all work itself out.
But even after all their work, there was still some doubts. Would it fly?
And here's this grown man kneeling at the side of my bed, and he's sobbing. And he's saying, the cord is stuck, and I don't know what we're gonna do. Boy, there were a lot of prayers said that night. The morning of the ceremony, when that thing unfurled in slow motion, just, I mean, one piece at a time, it just started, and it just unfurled so beautifully. There's no doubt in my mind that the Lord's hand is in it.
Every fold that came out, every time that it went through a carabiner, I'm just like watching it, just praying. It's like, okay, there's one, there's two, and just watching it, you know, as it's coming undone. And finally, the whole thing comes out and just billows.
The flag has been a part of my life since I can remember when.
World War II hero Gail Halverson joined Kyle Fox, Ron Nix, and others to help create the largest free-flying flag in the U.S.
You ready?
Go for it.
Gail Halverson actually sewed on the very first star in addition to members of the committee.
Having served as a transport pilot in World War II, Halverson is affectionately known as the Candy Bomber. Patriotism runs deep in him.
You have these blessings because of others. The patriots have gone before. The Patrick Henrys and Nathan Hales, give me liberty or give me death. I'm grateful for those who have gone before.
Halverson's service in the military began early.
I was 21 years old.
He witnessed horrific atrocities while flying missions during the war. It was a brutal environment, leaving many deeply scarred. But Halverson's heart was touched when talking to a small group of children outside an air base in Berlin.
Don't worry about us. We don't have to have enough to eat. Just don't give up on us. Someday we'll have enough to eat. But if we lose our freedom, we'll never get it back.
He wanted to give them hope, so he shared all he had, which was only 2 sticks of gum. Not nearly enough for everyone. And then he did something uncharacteristic.
Just told the kids that's gonna break the regulation. I said, come back here tomorrow and stand in that open place. And when I come over your head, before I come around to land over East Berlin, I'll wiggle the wings of the big airplane I've got. And I'm gonna drop enough gum and even chocolate.
During the war, he and his buddies airdropped 31 tons of candy. That's how he got his nickname, the Candy Bomber.
The little decisions you make in your life put your footsteps on where you end up, for good or bad. And you got a guidance system built into every one of us.
He learned early it's the small and simple things that make a difference.
The thing that you need to do is get outside yourself in the cause of freedom. And the main thing you can't forget is the countless of patriots who've gone before.
After all these years, seeing the flag fluttering in the breeze still brings him a thrill. And that's why he's involved with the Follow the Flag project.
Now, to see that huge flag unfold, biggest one in the world had ever done, in the beauty of nature between two big peaks.
The mission of Follow the Flag continues to expand.
We're up here at Coldwater Canyon on the north side.
As they reach out in new ways to honor, heal, and inspire those that need it.
This giant flag has always brought those type of thank yous to the soldier, to the civilian, and I think it'll do that for healthcare workers today.
With the COVID-19 pandemic raging, Follow the Flag wanted to hang Big Betsy
So that wheel right there has a lock
on the IMC hospital in Murray, Utah.
They call us unsung heroes. We're doing what we can to get through this pandemic.
Police, firefighters, and search and rescue members stepped in to help prepare the flag for flight.
A lot of communication has taken place to make this happen today.
Yeah, remember who we're doing this for, why we're doing all this.
We're realizing that the reach we have and this movement that's taking place is pretty powerful.
It really is an incredible sight to see from Chopper 5, but really from anywhere you are.
That was an amazing sight just to see it. The wind was kind of blowing, and as it came down.
I am so appreciative that they have taken the time to come do this flag for us, because it's beautiful and it's powerful.
It just reminded me not only of the healthcare workers that we're here to honor today, but just being an American citizen.
I was in one of the back groups that somebody started singing. All of these circumstances that we've had have brought us together.
I think now, more than ever, we need to draw close together, recognize what we stand for as Americans.
So I hope it's just another reminder that, hey, we are all in this together and we can get through it.
The Ogden chapter of Follow the Flag began 3 years ago after the death of former North Ogden Mayor Brent Taylor. He was killed in Afghanistan in November 2018 while serving as a major in the Army National Guard. To Brent, God, family, and country steered his life.
We were all kind of struggling with, what do you do?
Whoa! Whoa! 7 days after Taylor died, men who knew and loved him
Let's just try to keep it together.
orchestrated a larger-than-life symbol
Whoa!
for everything he meant to the community.
Reach! We called Kyle Fox with Follow the Flag and told him who we were and that we were friends of Brent's.
However, I told them, I have the flag, I have some rigging, but you guys are going to have to be the manpower on this one.
Plans were underway to unfurl the flag in the early morning hours of Veterans Day.
So we're flying this for everybody who's ever served our country. Thank you for being here and honoring Brent and those who served us.
It's 150 feet by 78 feet. It is the biggest flag that has ever flown independently.
It's starting. Yeah! There it goes, there it goes. Oh, man.
Indescribable.
We wanted to surprise Jenny.
It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
It was Sunday morning. It was a week after Brent had been killed, and my sister came, picked me up, said she wanted to go show me something, and I was in a total fog and just kind of followed her. And it was unbelievable to see it flying just so large in the wind up in that canyon in my home, and to be able to just really feel the power of America and something, I didn't know a flag that big existed. It felt like Brent has become larger than life, just larger than life.
I'll never forget the look on her face. It was a magical morning.
She told us afterwards that there is a huge flag flying up in Coldwater Canyon. You've got to go see it.
You could see it from everywhere in North Ogden. You'd see it coming down off the hill. You'd see it down at the store. You'd see it at the schools.
The day that we took it down, everybody started to ask, when's another one gonna fly?
And now each year, North Ogden commemorates Veterans Day with the flag they affectionately call the Major, hanging in Coldwater Canyon. Since its inception, Follow the Flag has looked for ways to expand its mission beyond the borders of Utah. So when 9 U.S. citizens were murdered in an ambush in La Mora, Mexico,
Good evening. Right now, we are tracking breaking news out of Mexico.
Kyle wanted to do something to help heal a community in mourning.
I just saw how horrific it was.
I get the phone call from Kyle Fox.
My first sentence was, hey, what are your thoughts of going to Arizona and flying a flag?
The second he said that, I knew that it was the right thing to do.
Within hours, Kyle and Brent were on a plane to Tucson, where some of the victims were hospitalized.
So here we are finally making it to the canyon.
Other Utah Follow the Flag volunteers soon followed.
We are close. We are double
So glad you guys are here.
The carabiner. Not bad.
We didn't have any intention for it even reaching the family.
But that changed when someone left them a message.
It said, hey, I am related to the family, and I would love to come and watch you unfurl this flag in the morning.
Heavenly Father, God, whomever you want to call it, aligned the stars enough to where they reached out to us.
And we pull up, and she's standing there with a man, and she said, this is my brother. Can he come with us?
Carrie started in on asking, do you mind if I ask you guys, what is your relation to the family?
And he said, it was my wife and my children that were murdered.
And I just told him that we don't know who you are, you don't know who we are, but I want you to know that there are many people in America who stand with you, who care for what has happened.
Wish we could do more. Everybody wants to do something. At least hanging the flag is something that we can do that touches people and makes an impact.
We love you.
We do. We do. Anything like you said, we need.
Service in general is the key to happiness, in my opinion. And this is a way that we can serve.
Patriotism runs deep at this Texas ranch. It's a good life here. The wooden flag symbolizes their love of country. But Justin Rozier knows loss too.
I was 9 months old when he died.
In 2003, Justin's dad, Army First Lieutenant Jonathan Rozier, was killed in Iraq. Since memories with him don't exist, Justin cherishes anything that once belonged to his father.
Like, these are the boots. We're actually going to get these refitted so that I can wear them.
That's why his mom, Jessica, wanted to find her husband's once-cherished car for Justin to drive.
I wanted the car that his dad actually drove. I wanted the car that was his dad's.
After John died, she had to sell the '99 Toyota Celica convertible to make ends meet.
I was shuffling through these old papers, and I pulled out this registration from 2002, which was the last time that we had registered the car in Texas.
She knew finding it was a long shot.
Maybe I'll just put it out on Facebook, because people can find anything on Facebook.
As the post got shared and shared and shared, the message made its way to Pleasant Grove, Utah, where the car was found.
My phone dinged, and I looked at it, and the first thing I saw was, we found your car. We found the car. Like, after all this time, like, it's still there, and we found it.
But the question remained, would the owner sell?
And it just makes me so emotional thinking about this. Like, if he had said no, like, I would have been crushed.
That's when complete strangers to Jessica entered the picture. They wanted to buy the car for Justin.
I had a GoFundMe campaign drafted. So when this car was found, I was going to push enter, right? And we threw it on that community page here in Pleasant Grove, Follow the Flag community. And as soon as the car was found, there it went, and it funds. And then all of a sudden, within a couple days, we have the money.
For Jessica, they were offering more than just help with the car, but a sense of healing, too.
It was like these people just decided, for a kid they don't even know, that they're going to do this for him because of the sacrifice his dad made, and I was just floored.
It started out small, big feeling, and as more people got involved and hearing more stories, it is truly an opportunity that is easy. Everybody that we called, immediate, no questions asked of dollar value, what can I do to help? It was easy. We volunteered to do a project. I just wish more people in the world had the opportunity to taste what we just got to taste.
It tugged at your heartstrings, it really did. And anything to connect the child with his father was just a story to tell in itself.
Kyle, his friend Art Maxwell, and their sons drove the car from Utah to Texas to surprise Justin for his 15th birthday.
The mileage didn't seem to add up on the gas. We paid less than we should have. It was just, there was literally some angels behind us just giving us a push.
Justin was speechless.
I'm all like, wait a second, what is this? At that point, I was just like I just couldn't talk. Like there was like too many things going on. Like I was happy, I was excited, I was like, just like, it was too much for me to handle.
They all wanted to do this for you so that you have a piece of their dad.
And for Jessica, it gave her something she never received 15 years ago.
It was pretty emotional for me to be on the receiving end of watching that car come home. I didn't ever get that, you know? It was probably one of the biggest moments of my personal life, seeing that car come home.
It's a moment I won't ever forget. I know it's a moment that my 11-year-old will never forget.
To me, it's a new car. It looks like it just came off the lot. Being able to learn to drive in the same car that he learned to drive in, it's kind of like him teaching me to drive it.
You hear about all the bad stuff in the world, but then somebody comes along and changes your whole view. Like, everybody is intrinsically good. They just have to be because these people exist.
There's a spirit about it. There's something about it up there that opens a window, opens a door. It just is changing people on its own.
Whether in Texas or hanging in the canyon in Pleasant Grove, Utah, or even on the slopes of Sundance Ski Resort, where 100 volunteers skied the giant flag down the mountain to kick off the Winter Olympics.
I'm sure that every one of them had a different experience, and you know, that's the beauty of it, is there's a little bit something different in everybody's hearts and eyes that comes out of this.
The Stars and Stripes have the power to impact people in many ways.
It's the only thing as Americans we all have in common. The flag and the national anthem. We should protect it.
And Kyle and Ron hope the Follow the Flag project continues to inspire, heal, and unite people for a very long time.
The most important thing for me is God, my creator. Because with him, I know all things are possible. And for Kyle and I, our goal is to unify and bring people together.